We spend much of our lives chasing light, success, approval, recognition. Yet deep within us lives another realm, the shadow. It carries everything we have to sound our fears, our anger, our desires, our unmet potential. Most people flee from it. But in Jung's vision, the shadow is not the enemy. It is the doorway to our deepest power. When we learn to listen to its whispers, we unlock the energy that has been buried, transforming our lives. Your shadow is not a villain lurking in the dark corners of your mind, waiting to strike. It is the sum of everything you have rejected, denied, or hidden from yourself. It carries your repressed emotions, your unloved desires, your forgotten talents, and even the instincts that once protected you. Most people grow up believing they must appear only good, acceptable, and light, and in doing so they push away entire dimensions of who they are. But what is pushed away does not disappear. It waits. It waits for you to turn around and see it. Meeting the shadow without fear means daring to face the parts of yourself that make you uncomfortable. It means looking at your jealousy, your anger, your shame, and your vulnerability without judgment, as if you were meeting a long-lost friend. This act of self-confrontation is not weakness, it is the deepest form of courage. When you face your shadow honestly, it begins to transform. The dark becomes less threatening, and the energy locked inside it becomes available to you. Instead of being a source of sabotage, your shadow becomes an ally and a guide, showing you where your deepest growth and power lie. By looking inward without turning away, you reclaim your full humanity, stepping into a richer, more authentic life than the one allowed by fear and avoidance. Every time you feel tension in your chest, hesitation in your throat, or a quiet resistance in your actions, it is the shadow trying to speak to you. These sensations are not random flaws or weaknesses. They are coded messages from the unconscious, signaling where something inside you longs to be acknowledged. Most people numb these whispers with distractions, overwork, or self-criticism, believing that discomfort means they are failing. In truth, discomfort is often a compass pointing you toward what matters most. When envy arises, it may be pointing to a desire you have to sound. When anger flares, it may be protecting a boundary you have ignored. When shame creeps in, it may be revealing a value you have betrayed. By leaning in instead of turning away, you begin to decode the hidden messages inside your resistance. This requires patience and honesty. Sit quietly with your discomfort. Ask it questions without demanding immediate answers. Notice the patterns of your triggers and emotional reactions. They are breadcrumbs leading to buried parts of your psyche. The more you practice listening, the clearer the whispers become. Instead of being ruled by unconscious reactions, you start to develop conscious choice. And in this conscious choice lies freedom, the freedom to reclaim your lost strengths, to understand your hidden needs, and to act from a place of wholeness rather than fragmentation. Over time, what once felt like an inner battle becomes a dialogue, and what once felt like resistance becomes revelation. Integration is the art of becoming whole, not perfect. Too often we believe that our darker impulses must be eradicated, scrubbed away as if they are stains on our character. But what we resist does not disappear. It burrows deeper into the unconscious and exerts even more influence over our lives. The goal is not to erase what you dislike about yourself but to understand it, to give it a voice, and to transform its raw energy into something conscious and constructive. When you integrate your shadow, you reclaim every piece of energy you once spent on suppression and self-denial. Anger becomes assertiveness. Fear becomes discernment. Envy becomes inspiration. Even your most difficult emotions carry seeds of power when acknowledged. Integration means you stop living as a fragmented self and begin living as a whole being, rooted and authentic. It does not mean you indulge every impulse without discernment. It means you accept that all impulses belong to you, and therefore you can guide them with wisdom rather than fear. This process softens judgment toward yourself and others. It fosters compassion, because you see in others the same struggles you have faced within yourself. As you integrate your shadow, your relationships deepen, your creativity flourishes, and your sense of purpose strengthens. You begin to walk through the world with an inner steadiness, because nothing within you is being hidden or exiled. This is not a one-time achievement but a lifelong practice. A dance between the conscious and unconscious, light and dark, known and unknown. Each act of integration strengthens your character, expands your capacity to love, and opens a pathway to your most authentic power. The very aspects of yourself you have been taught to deny or suppress often contain the richest sources of strength, creativity, and vitality. The shadow is not a dead weight holding you back. It is a reservoir of untapped power. Every emotion you've buried, every instinct you've labeled wrong, and every impulse you've hidden away holds raw life force waiting to be reclaimed. When you stop fearing these inner depths and start exploring them, you uncover a source of resilience and originality that cannot be imitated or borrowed from others. The artist who turns personal pain into profound expression, the leader who transforms private fears into public courage, the healer who alchemizes their wounds into wisdom. All are people who have touched their shadows and emerged stronger. This power is not about domination or control, it is about authenticity and vitality. It is the kind of power that allows you to stand firmly in your truth, to speak with conviction, and to act with integrity even when the world resists you. By drawing from the shadow, you no longer need external validation to feel worthy, because you are fueled from within. You discover that your deepest creativity and most transformative leadership arise not from the sanitized image you present but from the depths you once hid. The shadow's energy, once integrated, becomes a kind of inner fire, steady, focused, and life-giving. This fire can illuminate your path and inspire others who see their own hidden potential reflected in your courage. Embracing the shadow does not make you darker, it makes you fuller, freer, and infinitely more powerful than you ever imagined when you were only living in the light. Individuation is the lifelong journey of becoming who you truly are. Not who you were told to be, not the mask you wear for approval, but the undivided self that integrates both light and shadow. It is not a destination you arrive at once and for all, it is an ongoing process of self-discovery, confrontation, and integration. Walking toward individuation means continually peeling back the layers of conditioning, expectation, and fear, and daring to meet what lies beneath. Each time you reclaim a disowned part of yourself, you dissolve a little more of the split between your conscious persona and your unconscious depths. You begin to live with increasing authenticity, guided by an inner compass rather than external demands. This path is not comfortable. It asks you to face your contradictions, to hold opposing truths, to sit with the tension of what you do not yet understand. But through that discomfort you develop a deeper kind of freedom. The freedom to respond rather than react, to choose rather than obey, create rather than imitate. Individuation does not mean you become flawless or detached from the world. It means you become rooted, whole, and awake, able to engage life from a place of inner stability. As you walk this path, you will notice subtle shifts. Your relationships become more authentic because you no longer need to hide. Your creativity deepens because you are drawing from the full spectrum of your being, and your sense of purpose grows because you are living in alignment with your true nature. This is the journey Jung called the great adventure of the soul. The courage to become conscious of yourself, to embrace the mystery of your depths, and to continually bring more of who you are into the light of awareness. Walking toward individuation is not self-centered. It is an act of service to the world, because a whole person radiates integrity and inspires others to do the same. Each step you take toward your own wholeness makes you a living example that the integration of shadow and light is not only possible but transformative. The shadow's whispers are not a threat but an invitation. Within your darkness lies a treasury of forgotten power. Dare to listen. Dare to integrate. And in doing so, you will not just find your hidden power. You will become whole.